in this system, this is like, I know I had a what and a why, and I could feel myself being pulled to it, but every time I stepped out of line, I got smacked or,
Sure.
Be quiet. Like society corrected me to get me back in line. And I just felt like I was just a sheep being led to slaughter, But here's the way I thought about it. If I'm feeling that, then what am I demonstrating for my children? Welcome to another podcast. Cosmo here and my boy Wes. Thank you for being here, Wes.
Yo. Thanks for having me.
The crowd goes mild.
All the other MCs were busy, so I'm here again.
That was the first time I ever heard that. I heard you say that. The crowd goes mild.
The crowd goes mild. Happens a lot.
Man, this is going to be a good podcast.
I'm ready. You said it last time. 23 was going to be a hit.
Yeah. Can't find your what, let alone your why. And I can't tell you how many people, I know I've struggled with this. It took me a long time, but it's shocking to hear how many people actually struggle with this. So, I mean, I don't know. It makes me think about a time when I was young, and I didn't have the family life that most people had. We didn't have cookouts. We didn't go on events. We had none of that. The only time that we did really have family was once a year. We'd go to our family reunion, and then I would see, what other families are like, and that was always confusing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Even growing up, and I met my wife's family for the first time, I was like, what the, that was weird for me.
Sure.
We just had a completely different family dynamic. What do they call that in counseling? A family unit or something like that.
Yeah, unit. That's the word.
So, and I can't speak for anybody else, but some of you may, relate to this. You may not have had the family structure that I guess society says we need to have, or at least one that wasn't, what society says.
Wasn't the Brady Bunch or anything.
Right. Yeah. I remember watching that too, Brady Bunch. I'm just looking at that well, in my head, I was like, this is, this is bullshit.
It's fake.
It's fake, and I thought that's why I just,
sure.
I've just believed, I've just associated, if I see this on TV, it's got to be bullshit.
Yeah.
So now pretty much everything I see on TV, I go, this got to be bullshit.
Fake.
Yeah. I heard Judge Judy was actually filmed in a warehouse.
I believe that.
I had a friend of mine, he was on that. He said, no, it's in a warehouse.
Yeah.
A massive warehouse. He said, in the middle of the warehouse was a box.
Yep.
That's what it looks like when it was that small. And he said, and then when you walked inside, then it was
the courtroom.
Well,
you can't tie up a courtroom all day shooting. Yeah. There ain't nobody renting those out. They got business to tend to, baby.
Yeah, that's true, man.
Bailiff,
that is true.
Get these cameras out of here.
America to me is the land of the free, the home of the brave. But I just wonder, if they're, I don't know how I should say this. I want to be very delicate here. Are we just meant to be like sheep that just follow in the footsteps of those in front of us? Does that make sense? Get in line,
Yeah, post-war America was very, look at this safe, insulated world we made here at home. These are the lanes you run in. These are the schools you go to get, the house, the white picket fence, the wife, the car, that was the, look, here you go.
Yeah, and I don't know.
I know what you're talking about.
This is just me. It's
but there's systems built around that
I know.
you to not participate in them. You got to go. You have to work harder in a lot of ways.
yeah, you have to break the status quo. You have to go against the grain, swim upstream. And I just remember, like the story I told about the monkey and the bananas.
Yeah.
Like every time I stepped on the ladder, I got sprayed with water or yanked off.
No, and the cracks in that whole thing are starting to show a little bit.
Yeah,
like it's getting a little. You're starting to be able to see maybe some misgivings about it.
Well, and I think this in this system, this is like, I know I had a what and a why, and I could feel myself being pulled to it, but every time I stepped out of line, I got smacked or be quiet. Like society corrected me to get me back in line, and I just felt like I was just a sheep being led to slaughter, But here's the way I thought about it. If I'm feeling that, then what am I demonstrating for my children? Like, am I suppressing we tell people you can be anything you want to be, and I don't know that that's true. You
can try.
You can try.
Might get tired
and
of it.
I highly recommend try. There's a lot of things that I thought I wanted to be a welder, and I became a welder, and I was like, this sucks.
It's hard work.
It's hard work. It's hard work. It's hot, and I did that for a lot of years. So
Not that you don't like to work hard. I'm not saying.
Not that I don't like to work hard, but I went, yeah, this isn't for me. This isn't my what, and this damn sure ain't my why.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm out.
I read a quote. It was, some guys to be the kind of parent you want your kid to be someday.
That's so good.
And I was like, oh man, or like the kind of person, like do in your life what you want to see your kid do someday. And I was like, oh my gosh, that made me think about everything I do in a day. Like, what do I want him to see? I just got one, but he's starting to pick up on little things,
Well, and I always think back to like, if, this cycle that we're in of the game of life, like at some point you have to be selfish.
Yeah.
And when I say be selfish, you have to go, okay, I've spent my life trying to please my parents, friends, girlfriends, boyfriends, whatever you got out there. At some point, and this is when it changed for me. I said, I'm going to live my life, go to work, raise my child, and work on me.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Is it kind of liberating?
Dude, it was absolutely and that was not me.
Yeah.
That was not me at the time. I would wake up, go to work, get off work, go back to work at a different job when I didn't have my kid. But when I did have my kid, I wouldn't work at all. And it was just me and Noodles at the time. And I just worked on me. Now, I just did what I knew. I worked out, ate right, jiu-jitsu. Like I did work on me. And it finally hit me that, I can't love somebody else the way they need to be loved, and until I can love me the way I need to be loved.
Yeah.
And that was pretty crazy for me. And still at the time, I didn't know, I didn't understand my what or my why until I heard this. And when I heard this, everything changed for me. If you want to find your calling in life, go volunteer in one of those nursing homes for terminally ill patients.
Yeah.
Go volunteer there for one day and talk to them. And like, oh my gosh. Like,
get a snapshot of that.
Like, these people are literally on death's door.
Yeah.
And you hear, I wish I would have. I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have did that. I wish I would have worked on me. I wish I would have been a better person. I wish I would have gave more. I wish I would have, whatever that may be. And like it or not, this is everybody's future. Everyone.
Yeah.
The great thing about the game of life is nobody's going to make it out alive.
Ain't that the truth?
And that's when it hit me, man. That's when I found my and I didn't find my what or my why until I understood my values. And when I understood my values, that's when I understood that I don't want to die with any regrets or any bad blood. You know, I didn't want to do any of that. And when I found that, it was locked in. Like I knew I want to, now that I've helped myself, I want to see if I can help somebody else.
Yeah.
I do love the thing about our barbecue company is it brings family, friends closer together. And I think that's where the genius of life is. It's not how much money you have. It's not what job you have. It's not the car you drive, the house you live in, how many sports your kids play. It's none of that. It's absolutely none of that. No one that I've ever heard on their deathbed said, you know, I wish my kid just could have played one more sport in high school.
Yeah.
Or I wish my kid would have just kept me out playing all those sports in high school one more day.
Sure.
And it's just so sad. I saw somebody the other day and they had a very expensive car. And I asked the guy, I said, what's your payments? And he told me, and my daughter goes, why'd you do that? I said, I asked the question, what's your payments? Not that I cared what his payments are. To prove to you that you can have this, but to have this, you are going to go in debt.
Yeah.
And this may make his status appear more high. I said, the difference between me and that man, he looks way more successful than me. And I'm not bragging. I could go buy that car cash. He can't.
He's driving it. I'm not.
Yeah. Yeah, you're exactly right. So I don't know. That's not a flex by any
but
imagination.
It's not your why though.
It's not my why.
Yeah.
It's when I understood my values that led me to my what and my why. And when I understood that I do not want to leave this earth with any regrets, and I do some dumb shit too.
Yeah, you do.
Like I do. You let me tell you one of mine.
I'd love to hear.
I want to learn how to fly.
Yeah, I've heard you say that before.
But I am scared. I am scared. You ever been to one of them little things? Them little Cessnas?
When I saw the FAA's facility for training pilots, I was like, that ain't for me. I don't want to do that. I was like, man, power to you. You guys get up there. And when I saw what they put them through, I was like, man, this ain't for me. I could spend all day trying to forget about all that just to get on the plane and ride, let alone.
You have to know a lot.
It's nuts.
And if it's, I think there's a couple things. First of all, if I ever do it, I want to so bad, but I'm just, like, I don't want to learn on anything without a parachute.
Like you'd be wearing one while you're in it?
Yeah, no, on the plane. The Cirrus
the plane itself.
Yeah, the plane itself has a parachute.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, but then I found out that, and I don't know this to be true. Maybe somebody can, the Cirrus isn't even cleared to fly legally without the parachute because of a spin stall rate or something like that. So you have to have that because of the aerodynamics of the plane or something like that. I can't remember.
So why is it dumb? You didn't get to the dumb part yet. You want to fly.
Man, I think I have a fear of going back to school. Because I know they give you a pile of books and you're supposed to read, and I'm just not. I don't learn like that.
Yeah,
I'm OJT learner, on the job training, man. Let's get this figured out.
When do we get to fly?
Yeah. Well, they take you the first day, but then they go. And I actually went to one of those. They call them something. I don't know. They take you out and tool you around for $150, and then it's basically a sales funnel.
Yeah. Okay. Wasn't that awesome?
Yeah, wasn't that awesome? For $14,000, you too can just buy all these books. And the second I heard books, I went, I don't want a part of that. So I don't know. Maybe that is a regret. But maybe I could just do it and be done.
Man, maybe in another life.
Yeah, that's an expensive hobby too.
It is expensive.
I don't know. So, my question for you is do you know your what, let alone your why? And if you do, leave it down in the comments. If you found that, I would absolutely love to hear from you. Tag me on social media at Kosmo Unfiltered. And if you love what we're doing, remember, we don't run commercials. We don't run ads. We don't do any of that. We give this to you for free. So if you like what we're doing, please do one thing for me. Share this episode with a friend. Please. That's all I ask. I want to thank everybody for watching, listening, subscribing, and I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.